sent me a tell, "You're streaming." I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that was
That was really
really
funny.
that was embarrassing. And I was all like hyped up and like, I can't believe I figured out how to do this. It was very embarrassing. I don't think I would have actually made that tutorial and posted it had that not been in it. I thought that was actually so funny that I had to put it up just like it was.
Alright guys, the people who are showing up, I made these tar patches down below. If you guys want to play around on those, just pick a tar patch, whatever, and then you can follow along there.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to go step by step from the very beginning of how this is made, so I'm not skipping over anything, just in case. If you already know how to do some of this stuff, that's fine. But this way you will know exactly the same way that we did it. So first we're going to make a microvoxel. Take a regular voxel, put it down, and we're going to smooth it 3 times. And these are hard to see, so you want to put it in the air, because if you smooth it when it's on the ground, it's going to act weird. Because the smooth tool doesn't, it's drunk.
How do you put it?
When you go to make the voxel, you go to add it with the add tool, do shift left click, and it'll bring up some arrows. That's twerk mode. It's actually tweak mode, but no one will call it twerk mode. I've tried. And then you can put it in the air. There you go. Now activate your smooth tool and place it over the block and click 3 times. Alright, now we're going to make another voxel. So we're going to apply this little voxel we just made to a regular voxel. So take another voxel and put it in the air next to it. And we're going to stretch out the regular voxel with this little voxel. And the easiest way to do that, you're going to be putting it on the diagonal of every corner of this regular voxel, but 1 voxel space away. So it's going to pull it all the way out like a little point. And it sometimes is easier to go shift left click and go into tweak mode so you can see where it's going, especially when they're this little. They're kind of hard to see. Once you've put one at one corner, and I'm gonna wait, don't worry, I won't go fast. Alright, so Shiloh, you need a regular voxel. Sorry, he's laughing at me, not.
No, I'm laughing at myself. I couldn't even get the microvoxels go where I wanted it.
We can all laugh at Kit later. Alright, so put a regular voxel down in the air. You're gonna need to have it in the air because you're gonna need to put things on all corners. Alright, hey Lenny, you're probably having trouble lining it up, so I won't get in your way. That's the other thing that doesn't help, is me putting my big fat butt in the screen in front of where you're trying to put it.
Put it by the little square?
Yeah.
The little square?
Yeah, take this little square and you're gonna put it on the corner. Come over here and you can see mine. I'm gonna paint the little one so you can see where it is once I've applied it to my big one. You can see where it is in relation to it. I'm gonna paint it bright red. Yep, so if you come over here, you'll see where the where you need to put the littlest voxel you made in relation to the big voxel. The hard part's lining the damn thing up. Don't feel bad if you have trouble doing it. I still have trouble on a daily basis lining stuff up. Sometimes I close one eye and pretend that helps, but it doesn't. Alright, there you go, Hilani. Now, repeat that on all of the corners. So you're going to want 4 of them on top, so it's stretched all the way out like that on all four corners on the top. And then you're going to want 4 on the bottom, so it's stretched out on the bottom. Alright, good job, Shyla. Same thing. You're gonna, you might run into trouble because I think you're 1 voxel away from the floor. So when you go in to put those ones on the bottom, it's gonna connect it to the bottom. But don't worry, it won't matter if it stretches the floor for the purposes of what we're doing. It'll be okay. Alright.
Hello. You have a little microvoxel right next to it, so you need to place the regular voxel somewhere in the air away from that, and then you're gonna copy your microvoxel to one of the corners, the diagonal out from the corner of that voxel. So let's place down the regular voxel first, then copy your microvoxel. And then go straight out from the corner of that voxel you placed. Pencil. Tip of a pencil.
Hello all people just joining. We're doing a live tutorial.
Towards yourself.
You can either join us and if you want to come and attend in person, joining us on Redcall on that channel.
Oh, that was right.
Come to Kanchana Jade's Mystical Workshop. And we're multi-twitching because Kit's going to be the second part of the stream. Here's the stream. We're multi-twitching. Yeah, the tricky part is make sure you are building away from that microvoxel you made. In fact, you don't need it after you've pasted it on the corners of your guy. You just need it to stretch it out. Making some good shapes, actually. I have it here so you can see what it looks like when it has just 4 on top. And if you're having a lot of trouble placing them, a trick is to copy the 4 microvoxels on top and place them 2 below their current position, and you'll do the exact same thing as doing it 1 by 1 on each corner. So it's a shortcut. Once you get it on the 4 corners, you only need to get it on those 4, and then you can paste below by copying them all at once. Alright. Now you just need to, Kalaya, you just need to, there you go, you're doing it. Almost got it, Shyla. This is the hard part, so don't be intimidated. This is actually the harder part. That was weird. Did you see that? It's like the big stretch part disappeared. You saw it too? It just had strings attaching the corners. Uh-oh, we're breaking the game, guys.
That looks good, Kayla. Yeah, one thing that could be very useful working with small voxels is if you could turn your arrows and your axes into something small by just a button.
Yeah. The arrows get in the way.
Tweak mode.
The arrows get in the way, especially when they're like 3 times as big as whatever it is, or when you're doing something that's invisible.
But a good trick for this when you get the first one placed right is if you count 2 and click, and then 2 and click, and do a click all the way around. It's pretty
Alright,
simple.
you got it, Shyla. Okay, so now we're gonna copy that big guy out of the middle. And making sure you're not pasting him next to the microvoxel or the other thing that you've already put down. You're just going to paste him out over to the side somewhere. And it's okay, you can make a mess in here. We clean it up all the time. And then you're going to paste him again right next to himself, but 2 voxels away. It'll look like they're inside of each other if you're only 1 voxel away. So you go 1, 2. Then you're going to go on the blue axis, 2 voxels away. And then on the red axis, 2 voxels away till you make a grid. And you can look at mine. Oh, get rid of don't copy the microvoxels. Just the stretched guy in the middle. Just that guy. The microvoxels will get you in trouble. Just make real sure you're not anywhere near the microvoxel that I had you make in the beginning, because it's hard to see, and I've already forgotten where mine was, and I almost pasted it over it. And I would have been like, what's going on? This happened to us the first time we did it. Alright, I think everybody's got their grid. Now we're going to take the line tool, and you're going to put your line tool on the top of each of these squares and double click. And they're going to get punched down once. Imagine you're making bread and you're punching the air out of the dough. There you go. And they'll be flatter. But you just need to click them so they get flattened once. They will get more and more flat. You can do it up to 3 times. But for this purpose, we only do once. And you get different shapes depending on how flat you make it. So it's good to play around with later. Alright, that's good. That's good. Alright. Now we're going to copy all 4 of these. And we're going to paste it above it, the grid we just made. We're going to go 2 up on the green axis. And you're going to end up with a shape that is basically 8 cubes that are 3 by 3. If I put selection box around all of it, it will be 3 by 3 by 3. You don't want them to be inside of each other. Make sure you go up 2, not just 1. This is called the stretched voxel reactor, and you're now practicing voxelmancy. Okay, now come over here to the wall. Anywhere behind this silly drawing I made, there is voxel putty. It is voxels that you can touch to other voxels, and they won't deform the original voxel you touch them to. They're amazing and lovely. And just copy 1 voxel deep anywhere beyond the surface of this wall. You can make your own, or you can template this for later use. You can use the paint on the surface too if you like, but I usually encourage people to do one that's one below the surface so it's not contaminated with your air voxel data. These damn dirty air voxels, they get you every time. Alright, now we're going to take that putty that we just copied, and we're going to put it in the middle of this grid we just made. And you might have to go into tweak mode just to see where you're putting it, because they're so close together. You really need to be like Peter Dinklage to get down in there. So let's move them over. I have that song stuck in my head from my husband. once you paste it in the middle, you should be able to